Just again, a reminder, the microphones, try to keep them close to you if you can. All right, good evening, and I'd like to welcome everybody to the 31st meeting of the 13th elected Town Council of Happy Valley Goose Bay. We do have one administrative function that we need to do here, so I am going to, before we move for the adoption of the agenda, I'm going to turn the floor for a motion from the Deputy Mayor.
Thank you, Mayor. A motion to appoint Kathy Eddy as Town Clerk for tonight's meeting.
Okay, it's been moved by Deputy Mayor Wallace that we appoint Kathy Eddy as the Town Clerk for this evening's meeting.
I'll second it.
Seconded by Councillor Compton Hobbs. Any discussion? And just for the record, she's out of town and trying to get back, but she's having some difficulties with PAL flight, delayed flights. So, any other discussion? All right, all those in favor indicate with aye.
Aye. Aye.
Contrary-minded? Okay, motion's passed. Kathy is now our Town Clerk. All right, so first item on the agenda is to adopt the agenda of the 31st meeting. You have the agenda in front of you. Any items that you'd like to add before we move to accept? All right, so none heard. Motion to adopt the agenda as presented in front of us.
So
moved by Councillor Pomeroy, seconded by Deputy Mayor Wallace. Discussion. All those in favor indicate with aye.
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 Contrary-minded? Okay, we've adopted the agenda. All right, so this evening we have two delegations that have registered to speak to council. First delegation, I'll ask Mason Woodward to, if you come up to the microphone. Yeah. And so, as we have a couple of delegations this evening, I'll just run down real quickly what the process is. You'll be given 10 minutes to present to council. There won't be any interaction between council, or if there's a point from a clarifying perspective, that's okay, but there's no debate or no back and forth. If there's an issue that can't, you're looking for further clarification on, then through committee, whatever committee that your issue would be dealt with, or the second delegation, that would be where we could set up to have that further discussion. Good? All right, so the floor is yours. If you just say your name for the...
Hello, my name is Mason Woodward.
Okay, welcome to council, Mason. The floor is yours.
Okay, sorry. First off, I am hearing impaired, so even hearing you across from here is a little bit difficult for me,
Okay.
so I'm sorry if I kind of missed a beat on something.
Okay.
But I understand that I only have 10 minutes, and I
Okay.
clocked myself at
Just-
4:30.
Yep,
so we
just
should
one
be good.
moment now. Is there a chance that we can turn up, is that possible? Because there is a speaker system here. Sometimes it was really loud here the other day for us. Is there any way? I guess, okay. Yeah, it's a little louder now. So we'll just ensure that we're closer to microphones, folks. Sorry, go ahead.
All right, thank you. All right, my name is Mason Woodward. I was born and raised here in Happy Valley, Goose Bay, though I left when I was 20 for college and only returned back again in 2021 at the age of 35. I currently live in Spruce Park. While being away from Goose Bay and experiencing the world, using public transit across various cities and even countries was simply a way of life for me. But when I initially returned back to Goose Bay without a vehicle, I found myself experiencing culture shock. Suddenly, I had lost all my independence, which made me feel frustrated and helpless. I had forgotten how truly isolating living in Goose Bay can be. I then took part of the virtual Town of Happy Valley Goose Bay public consultation session on potential transit service in 2021. Yet, upon watching the final report video and going through the PDF, I became concerned. My concern, and why I'm here tonight, is that Spruce Park won't be included in the finalized route set by the town, and I would like to ensure that it is. Despite examples of the bus route showing Spruce Park, the one highlighted as the final design recommendation phase 1 does not include the neighborhood. Yet Spruce Park was actively a part of the conversation and suggested routes, and is noted as being near the top, number 6, as a key destination only after the hospital, airport, co-op, Northmart, and the college. Spruce Park is home to many seniors and is a fair distance from core services for anyone with limited mobility and/or lack of transportation. Because of that, there are many people who are unable to meet their basic needs without having to rely on someone else for a ride or a taxi. This can lead to people feeling isolated and deprived of the chance to thrive, both as individuals and members of the community. As it was quoted in the report, taking away transport, limiting it, really takes away dignity. Here's a personal story about how having public transit here in Goose Bay would affect me and my own family. My mother, Lee Woodward, is legally blind because of a genetic condition that caused her retinas to degrade beyond repair. She is unable to drive, which means having to solely rely on her family to take her everywhere. Because of this, she has expressed how upsetting it is to always have to rely on others for rides, and the shame she carries because of it. Worse yet, if she's having a bad day and wants to be away from everything and everyone for a little while, she can't, and is instead ultimately forced to still be stuck at her home in Spruce Park. So when I told her about the new public transit, she was extremely excited, imagining how freeing it'd be for her to be able to just get up and go when she wants, to be able to regain some sense of independence she's lost in just a few short years. But then imagine how crushed I was to discover Spruce Park potentially being left off the route. All of the initial joy that my mom experienced was stripped away. My concern for her well-being and the well-being of others like her intensified. And I'm not only speaking up for them, but myself as well, since I have the same genetic condition as my mom and may very well go blind during my lifetime. I'm not only thinking about who needs the service today in Spruce Park, but who may need it in the future. Aside from ensuring that Spruce Park is included, I wanted to also state that while I can be here today to voice my concern, not everyone, as we just established, can be. It may be helpful to make more public announcements about the bus service and to allow people another sizable window of time to weigh in with their own concerns before the bus route is set in stone. Throughout the consultations, it was highly stressed by the researchers to continue getting the public involved to best understand our unique needs. With this in mind, more surveys, both online and paper, should be available to reach out as many people as possible. While I myself preferred online surveys, not everyone has access to the internet. Even though researchers stated that the engagement through their online surveys was very high, 384 respondents, we still may be missing a lot more people who want to be engaged. For example, a lot of seniors are not connected to, a lot of seniors are not connected to the online world and may never know of any of this. So it is important for them to still have their voices heard as well. Making another push now may generate a fresh wave of engagement from townspeople to make this public transit the best it can be, because we all want to be able to enjoy our beautiful community with dignity. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mason. And just a quick one, the information that you just presented came to us just after, I guess, towards mid-December, I guess. I'm looking at Mr. Osmond here, who's our Community Development Officer, and is definitely will be considered. So we only gave council approval from a budget process, sorry, not approval, but from a budget process, the process with the purchasing a bus and going forward with the plan. So I think that with the lead time that we will be waiting from a bus perspective, through committee and that, there'll be lots of opportunity, and I'm sure there'll be further engagement to refine. It's going to be a work in progress for the first little while, of course, as you can appreciate, but I'm sure your and sentiment of others will be captured, no problem with before we actually, that first rider gets on a bus. All right? Thanks very much for coming. And I have to close the meeting.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Thanks very much. All right, so as the second delegation comes, Marina Biatsui Brown, I am going to declare conflict as my daughter is a figure skater and my wife sits on the executive. So I'm declaring conflict and I'm passing the chair over to the Deputy Mayor.
Thank you, Mayor. Second delegate, we'd love to have you at the stand. Thank you. And same thing again, of course, you'll have 10 minutes uninterrupted time to speak. We won't back and forth, but of course the time and the floor is yours.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you for your time, Deputy Mayor and Council. So I'm speaking to you, my name is Marina Biasudi Brown, and I'm speaking to you this evening on behalf of the Snowflake Figure Skating Club. So we are here this evening to speak to you about an issue that has caused us some frustration over the last year or so, and that is with regards to the accessibility of the arena change rooms. So it's a fairly simple issue. It's not one that would normally require a delegation to council, but for some reason we've not been able to reach a workable solution with management and staff at the arena. So we've decided, at first with hesitation, but we've decided finally to bring this to council. So as you are aware, there are 2 change rooms on the main level of the arena, and both of those change rooms are designated as female only. All the other change rooms are located upstairs. The Snowflake Figure Skating Club has about 80 skaters in our program, with the majority of them falling between the ages of 3 to 10 years old. The way the change rooms are currently organized, we do not feel that we're able to offer our families a comfortable and accessible place to get ready to get on the ice. So when a female parent or guardian helping a male child to put on their skates, or vice versa, a dad with a daughter, there's no accessible space for those families to comfortably do that. So we see kids sitting on the floor in the hallway, putting on their skates, or sometimes, like tonight, we see dads sort of sheepishly sneaking into the change room, but not really sure. You know, they know they're breaking the rules, but they need to help their kid with their skates. And it's just not working. We also have older skaters who wish to put on their skates or change in an inclusive space. So we've been trying over the last year or so to work out this issue together with CSR management, basically to offer our skaters an accessible change room where they can put on their skates and change in an inclusive family setting that is accessible, just like the washrooms at the YMCA, the inclusive washrooms, or change rooms, sorry, or co-ed change rooms that you see at arenas across the province and the country. But for some reason or other, including the arena staff not following through with solutions that were agreed on by both parties, we're not getting anywhere with it. So we think it's also important to note that this issue goes beyond the needs of our skating club. So with 2 female-only change rooms downstairs and the rest of the change rooms upstairs, there's no accessible family or gender-inclusive changing space for people with mobility issues. So this means that there's no accessible change room or shower for a man or a boy or someone who doesn't identify as female. So this is something we've actually witnessed at the arena, where someone who wasn't able to use the stairs had nowhere to put on his skates. So we do agree that a female-only option is important, and the solutions we've suggested have included keeping a female-only option for a change room. But that is in addition to an accessible, inclusive option, or a co-ed change room. And this type of change room can also be very useful. So we've seen the female-only change rooms being used by both genders on a regular basis at casual skate or for special events such as the alumni hockey game that happened last weekend. So obviously there's a lot of uses for space like that, but for some reason we're constantly met with opposition by staff and CSR management when we suggest that there be a co-ed space downstairs that is accessible by everyone. I should note also that Skate Canada guidelines require that skating clubs have 3 change room options, and that is male only, female only, and co-ed. So we're here this evening to respectfully request that a meeting between the Snowflake Figure Skating Club and the CSR committee to come to some kind of workable solution here. So we don't see, as I said at the beginning, we don't see this issue as being very complicated. We understand that the arena has some space limitations, but surely we can come up, with some creativity and cooperation, we can come up with a workable solution. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Appreciate your time and appreciate you coming forward. Is that right? Mayor, I'll hand the chair back to you.
Thank you, Deputy Mayor. All right. So delegations are finished. You're more than welcome to stay and listen to the rest of observe the rest of the meeting if you wish, but you're more than free to leave as well. All right, so let's move into meeting this evening and our agenda. Adoption of the previous minutes. All right, so we have two sets of minutes that we need to approve. The first one being the 29th meeting that we had on December 13th. All right, so can I have a motion to accept the 29th minutes? Okay, moved by Councillor Broomfield, seconded by Councillor Winters. Any discussion about the 29th minutes? All right, none heard. All those in favor, accepting the minutes as presented, indicate with aye. Aye. Contrary minded? Minutes have been accepted. And now we move into the 30th minutes. The meeting that was held on January the 20th.
I motion to accept.
Okay, thank you, Councillor Compton-Hobbs. Moved by Councillor Compton-Hobbs, seconded by Councillor Pomeroy. Discussion? No discussion heard. Okay, all those in favor indicate with aye. Aye. Contrary minded? Motion is passed. Correspondence. We got three letters, I guess. One is an outgoing letter to the Minister of Municipal Affairs, and it's in relation to a previous letter that we had written requesting special assistance grant for some engineering work in regards to the riverbank erosion, and we were originally turned down, but we've resubmitted the letter with a slightly amended amount, and we're hoping for better results this time. Two incoming, one from the Municipal Assessment Agency, which we regularly get, and another proclamation from Epilepsy Newfoundland and Labrador. All right, so we're going to committee reports. We'll start with community planning and development, and Councillor Brumfield.
Okay, thank you, Your Worship. The Community Planning and Development Committee held their monthly meeting in the Town Hall Boardroom on Thursday, January the 12th, 2023 at 4:30 p.m. Present was myself and the Chair, Councillor Hayward Broomfield, Councillor Jackie Compton-Hobbs, and Councillor Bert Pomeroy, and staff was DFO Nadine McCauley, Engineer Randy Dillon, and Engineering Technician Mark Urquhart, and Executive Assistant Kathy Eddy. So first of all, I'd like to welcome Councillor Compton-Hobbs and Councillor Pomeroy to our committee. This is the first committee they've attended since they've been elected in December. So we had no delegates, and the meeting was called to order at 4:41 p.m. Reviewed the previous minutes, and no errors or omissions were noted. And then it was adopted and approved by the committee. The monthly report has been attached for your review. The new business coming up, we had 4 Crown land applications, one for a cottage on Trans-Labrador Highway by Darren Hill. We had another one by Neil W. Purchase for a plot of land on Burnt Point for a license to occupy for another cottage. We have another one from number 3 from Evan J. Purchase at the same place, Burnt Point, for a license to occupy, and there's a cottage they want to build in the zone for that area. Our final one was from Kenneth and Yvonne Weber, and it was for land to occupy land, or license to occupy land on Mud Lake Road to build a boathouse and a wharf. Now, this is zone cottage, and license to occupy in the cottage zone is permitted. That was it for there's recommendations coming for all of these ones above I just read as well. So that was it for the Crown land applications. The next we had a request for a plan amendment, and that was to include the word kennel into our municipal development regulations. So the Doggy Daycare requested an amendment to our municipal plan and development regulations to add the word kennel to section 3.5.5. The new council were updated on this matter, and then the Community Planning Development Committee has set a date for a public consultation dealing with this. The next item we discussed was the renumbering of civic addresses on Loring Drive. The street numbering on the east side of Loring Drive currently has been inconsistent since day one, really, the numbering system. The civic properties with 2 facings and unclear divisions of the property. So there's a recommendation on this one here because there's 3 options provided, which listed the options there for basically we're going to lay down the border. So there will be a committee or a recommendation on this one. We did discuss street numbering in general because there's street numbering we still have it in our back office there. So the CAO will be addressing this coming up in fairly new. Next item we have is Crown Lands failing to inform of a Crown Land application for develop a septic tank installation. There was 2 Crown Land applications, one submitted way back in 2021 and another one submitted recently. So we're just dealing with the one that was submitted recently because this is Crown Lands, and that was number 157595. So there's a recommendation coming up on this item here as well. Other than that was all the issues we discussed. So our next meeting is scheduled for Thursday, February the 16th at 4:45 p.m. and our regular meeting adjourned at 5:57 p.m.
Okay, thank you, Councillor Brumfield. So it's moved that we accept the committee report as presented by Councillor Brumfield, seconded by Councillor Pomeroy. Discussion. So I have one question. In there you noted that in terms of the daycare changing of the act, do we have, and I'm going to direct the question to Mr. Dillon, do we have a commissioner now that would hear the development regulation changes, or do we have to appoint one?
Mayor, we would have to appoint one. To my knowledge, you may not have to go to a commissioner, depending, I think there was some preliminary discussion with our planner and retainer.
Okay.
And it's something that can be done less formally in this particular instance.
Less formally?
Less formally. That's something that I heard
Okay.
today, so
Okay.
I have to investigate that further, but
Okay.
I think it doesn't have to go through that formal route of appointing a commissioner and having a full public consultation.
Okay. That'd be interesting, because my understanding is that any
Well,
change
you-
to our
you still
development
may-
regs.
Yeah, you still might have to have a commissioner, but you may not have to go through the full formality of a public consultation. It could be done electronically possibly or something like that.
Okay, yeah, all right. Okay. So that's a work in progress then. All right, any other discussion?
Yeah,
Councillor Brenners?
yeah. When you discussed house numbering, I know there's an issue on Megan Street where there's an apartment building across the road which is numbered, not lettered. So basically we have on Megan Street, on one side, we have odd numbers, and then on the other side, where there's the apartment building, we have numbered apartments, which are 9, 10, 11, 12, which is confusing it could be confusing for the fire services and delivery of services such as Amazon or whatever, mail sort of thing. So I think that committee needs to look into getting the apartment building, or whoever the owner of the apartment building, to move from numbers to letters, because it could be severely troublesome if there's a fire and you go
What
to
street
10
was that again?
Megan Street.
Up, yeah, MOT. Yeah. Brian Cove. Yeah, and I mean, you know, in town we have, you know, some of our first responders, from a hospital perspective, are visiting. So they rely on, you know, Google, I'm sure, and all other types of stuff. So if it's incorrect there. Good.
Mayor,
So, yep,
can I make a
Councillor
comment?
Hobbs.
Just on the street numbering policy, for the interest of the public, because while I was campaigning, I heard it quite often, and I'm sure you all did too, that there's still a huge concern in the community with houses having no numbers. So during our meeting, it was discussed, and there's numbers here in a box that's been there for a while that staff are going to be working to put a PSA out for anybody who needs a number to come into the town
Yeah, so-
and get one. So
Yeah,
just
good.
so that the public's aware that we heard your concerns, we continue to work on them. There is a street numbering policy, and we are working on it to try to improve it in the community.
But there are a lot of houses around, and some of, you know, dark unlit letters, that kind of stuff as well. It's serious. I mean, if, you know, your house is unfortunately the location where some first responders happen to go and it's not numbered, you don't want to delay. I think the plan was that they were going to combine it with the critter tag thing, but I think COVID, and then there was a staffing issue that precluded us from being able to do it last fall. And I think that's where, instead of having people come in and have staff, you know, if you get 1,000 people come in for houses, numbers, it's just going to take a lot of time, resources from staff. So I think they were going to try to capture it at an event. I think that's where the plan kind of led.
Just to clarify, in
Yeah.
our meeting, the discussion was that they were going to put the PSA out within the next week or
Yeah,
so.
the
and have
CAO
them
is
come
going to
in
be
and
responsible
get-
for that, right?
Have them
Yeah,
come in
okay.
and get their numbers
Yeah.
throughout the business hours.
Sure.
And you're the chair, Howard, Councillor Broomfield, so if you want
Okay,
to
so
clarify that.
comments through the chair, not direct across the table, please.
Oh, sorry, well,
Yep.
Mayor,
Yep.
the chair of that committee can clarify
Absolutely.
what I just said.
Yep.
So the
Yes,
public's
that's
aware.
right.
Perfect.
We-
Okay.
She's absolutely right, and the CEO is supposed to do all of that for
All right.
us when she gets back.
And she's been out of town for last couple of days. So yeah, okay. So then that's a change of direction, which is good. All right. So we'll get the houses numbered. And if you're sitting down with a house that's not numbered, please take the minute to go and get the correct numbers, or come into the town once the PSA is issued. Any other discussion? All right. All those in favor indicate with aye. Aye. Contrary-minded? Okay, we've accepted the report from the CPD committee. Moving into the next. Yes, recommendations.
Yes. Yeah. Okay,
Floor is
I
yours,
do
sir.
have a few recommendations from my report, actually 5 in total. Okay, the first one is dealing with the, well, all of them, first 3 deal with Crown land applications. So the first one is Crown land application 160396, Darren Hill on the Trans-Labrador Highway. The CPD committee recommends that council provide approval in principle for Town of Happy Valley Gooseberry application 160396 for the Crown application with the following conditions. A, Transport Canada, which is NAV Canada and D&D, provide written approval accepting application 160396 relating to the NEF contour evaluation process requirements. B, if Transport Canada, which is NAV Canada and D&D, allows development, then the applicant shall follow a town's discretionary land application process. C, that a fire and safety inspection be satisfactorily completed at the applicant's cost. D, development to comply with the town's development regulations. And E, permitted use is cottage only.
Okay, so it's been moved by CPD committee through Councillor Brumfield that
I'll
we,
second that motion.
just 1 second, so I'm going to read it for the record.
Oh, you're reading
Yeah.
it again? Okay.
No, I'm just not reading, I'm reading the number, that's all. That we accept, we provide a approval in principle for application number 160396, Mr. Darren Hill. Seconded by Councillor Compton Hobbs. Discussion? I have some difficulty with this particular process because I know in the past we have not allowed folks to proceed with applications based on not having the NEF requirement, the letter from NAV Canada. The other side is that in this is a Crown Lands application. This application, we don't approve Crown Lands applications. We say we reject or we have no objection, or we have an objection. So this is not a process here to approve him doing this if this and this and this and this is met. If this is what this person is looking to do, as we've had in other cases, in my opinion, what should happen is we either have an objection or we have no objection to the Crown Lands application. We're not approving him to do any kind of structure or build anything on that land. So I won't support this as it's presented here. Any other, Deputy Mayor Walls?
I'm of the same vein. If we can't have a scenario where it's if something happens or if under certain circumstances, so why this is even in here, it's not in the correct protocols or direction. I feel the same way.
Anybody else? Councillor Pomeroy?
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, just on the NEF noise contours, this has been an issue that's been going on for years and years and years. People have applied for land up that area. If they go, a town engineer can explain it better. Is it 35, the noise contours, the level?
Yeah, that's correct.
And so these areas have 35, 40, 50, depending on where it's to. And it's an issue that keeps coming up, and people are still continuously applying for land in that area. The town's role is to be whether to support or deny approval, I guess, or not have an objection to the Crown Land application. In this case, I don't have an objection to the Crown Land application, but those noise contours issues have to be dealt with because nobody seems to want to deal with it. NAV Canada hasn't dealt with it in years. D&D, I think at one point when we inquired, they didn't even know they existed. So, so here we have people applying for Crown Land. The city of, or town of Gander or Spruce Park, the noise contours are a lot higher. And you're flying right over Deer Lake, and you're flying over Gander, and you're flying over town. The noise contours are a lot higher than 35. And yet there's no issue with development in those areas. So it's for a cottage purpose only. The area is zoned rural, and I don't have a problem with the application. At the end of the day, Crown Lands will deny or approve anyway.
Councillor Compton-Hobbs?
Yeah, no, I was gonna say the same thing. We've dealt with this in the past, and NAV Canada needs to deal with it, or it came, Mayor, I'm gonna get used to this. Councilor Broomfield as your chair, I mean, we had the exact same discussion in the meetings, and there seemed to be some not clear communication from other groups as well, like who should be getting the approval from NAV Canada? Is it town? Is it Crown Lands? Is it someone else? Seems to be a miscommunication.
Councillor Broomfield?
Yeah, but if you look on one of our other ones, whoever did it, they finally did something right. They had everything attached to their application. You'll notice they also have a letter attached from Provincial Affairs or provincial government stating that NAV Canada and I do believe D&D approved that particular one.
Which is
That's
why I say
Right?
any application that comes into the town should have that information.
Yeah, it should be.
I have no objection with
should
someone
go back
applying.
here, really.
I have no objection with someone applying with Crown Lands application, no question, if that's what we were doing here today. But this is a conditional approval. If. We don't approve Crown Lands applications. We just are a referring agency, just like, I know it's 5 or 6 other agencies. All we say is we have no objection or we have an objection. If this, an application comes in and it doesn't meet our zoning or doesn't mean, cottage use is absolutely no question. No problem. You can go there if it's a cottage, right? Seasonal cottage. If that's what this was for, to build it, no problem. But this is not. This goes into, we're giving approval if. And I don't think the if. I think all the questions that need to be answered when that application comes in, and again, I think this is the second or third time now, we shouldn't be accepting applications that aren't complete, because we always sit and talk and wonder and whatever. And in your comments in terms of the NEFs, yeah, it's something that needs to be addressed. I think it was more prevalent here because of the low-level flying issue that we had. It's obsolete, and I think even in there, the actual NEF guidelines from NAV Canada, it should be addressed. I don't think it's high on their priority, but every once in a while. But I know we have turned people down because they haven't. It's not within the accepted NEF contour, and we've also not allowed them because they haven't had approval from NAV Canada. But here we're going to do this and let this go, and all of a sudden what will happen is you potentially could get someone billed, and thinking that was the approval we gave when that's not the approval. Councillor Palmer, yeah.
Yes, thanks, Mayor. If the motion was brought forward to not have an objection to the Crown Land application, would that be suffice? Without conditions? Can a friendly amendment be made to the recommendation to approve to have no objection to the Crown Land application?
I would have no objection because there's other processes that will kick in. And it's no objection. We're not approving. We're not approving anything. Councillor, just one second. Councillor, did you have your hand?
Yeah, just a quick one there. It
Deputy
wasn't
Mayor?
that, yeah, it's not that we're disagreeing with the actual application itself. It's just the process in which this is delivered. This technically shouldn't even have come to the table today, so,
Because it wasn't complete.
right.
Councillor
Well,
Broomfield.
that's exactly what I was gonna say. I was gonna say we pulled this one, because C or B and C are the exact same, and they have all of their stuff.
Everything's there.
So this one really should not have been here.
Okay.
Because the other ones attached are just, council has no objection, council has no objection.
Yeah.
First one up here, there's,
And it's a Crown Lands application with the necessary information. Everything is there. In the package, everything is there. So
I recommend we pull this one, first one,
Wow.
until they get all their stuff together.
Mayor, can we defer this?
Yes.
we can. There's a motion now on the books to either accept or reject this. Rejecting it doesn't mean it goes away. We can just put it back to the table. So where we're into a motion and into discussion, it would have to be defeated, and it would go back to committee. Any other discussion, Councilor Williams?
Yeah, it just makes no sense to me why this application is here. If it's incomplete, then it's incomplete, but we have to vote on it again when all these other pieces are complied with.
And like I say, I think that's what the intent. And I thought in the previous time it happened, we had given instructions through the director of engineering that unless an application is full with all of the information, then it wouldn't be entertained. But all right, any further discussion?
So just to be clear, so this application isn't complete because it doesn't have that paperwork that's required from NAVCAN and...
No, I think the intent here is we're not approving anything. We don't approve Crown Lands applications. So if the intent is just to allow him, that we as council have no objection for him applying, I would have no issue with that. But because this is approving something that we don't have the right to approve, and the information is not there now, when he proceeds with, if he proceeds with his Crown Lands application and comes to us to build whatever structure he's going to build here, that's when the NEF and NAV Canada stuff is going to have to be there. He indicates what he wants to build, a 30 by 40 or 20 by 40 building, I think, if I recall, right? But there is no approval. So all of a sudden, we're giving him approval to something that it's not for us to approve. We're not approving a structure. We're not approving whatever. But in his application, that's what's there. But we don't have the ability to approve Crown Land. We can object or we can reject.
So this is this is a Crown Lands application, though?
Yes.
Yep.
So...
It shouldn't be there, really. It should be there like the other A, B, and C are,
We should be approving a Crown Land
Yes.
application and the number for that.
that we have no objection to, say, or,
Because the other side, if we according to the development regulations, we can enter into an approval in principle for 1 year with the potential to be able to do it for 2 years. But it still has to come back to council. When all the information is gathered, whatever conditions we set, it has to come back as a discretionary use, which this will, and then we have to vote on it. So that's the approval of giving the and again, I'm not sure why the approval in principle. I can't, because I didn't prepare it. So,
I got a question then.
Councillor,
Like was recommended, can we make a friendly amendment so he doesn't have to wait?
what would your friendly amendment be?
No objection?
Well, is everybody comfortable? I mean,
no,
your recommendations are coming.
Attached, that's the
Yeah.
problem.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know, but...
Your recommendation has to come from committee,
Yeah.
so there really needs to be that
Everything
discussion.
is not attached, so until we start like enforcing our own regulations and like making people bring everything forward, we're still gonna be debating this again and again.
Absolutely.
I'd like to
So
recommend it
the
goes back.
onus is on the applicant, as the province says, when they do their applications, the onus is on the applicant to bring everything they have forward.
But I don't understand, Mayor, because, all this was discussed in the meeting.
Yeah, it shouldn't, what he should have done is, he should have done it the same he did with B and C. That's exactly what he should have done.
Anyway, we can only act on what's in front of us here. So we're in discussion. We have a motion on the floor.
Yeah.
So one way or the other, like I say, it's been moved and seconded. So we either defeat it and put it back to committee, or we approve it as it is. All right.
Yeah.
Okay. So all those in favor of approving 160396 land application, indicate with aye.
Aye.
Contrary-minded, indicate with nay.
Nay.
Nay. Motion's been defeated. All right, next recommendation, sir.
Okay, the next one is Crown Land Application 160603 by Neil W. Purchase on Burnt Point. The CBD Committee recommends council have no objection to the Crown Land Application 160603 on the condition that future development complies with the town's development regulations.
Okay, it's been moved by the CPD committee through Councillor Brumfield that we have no objection to Crown Lands application 160603. Seconded by Deputy Mayor Wallace. Discussion? All those in favor indicate with aye.
Aye.
Contrary-minded? Motion's passed. Next recommendation, sir.
Okay, the next recommendation is again another Crown application, 160611 by Evan J. Purchase, again is at Burnt Point. The CBD committee recommends council have no objection to the Crown land application 160611 on the condition that future development complies with the town's development regulations.
Okay, CPD committee moves through Councillor Brumfield that we have no objections to Crown Lands application 160611. Seconded by?
I'll second that.
Seconded by Councillor Compton Hobbs. Discussion?
Okay, I found this on the web, so where can you move to?
I guess we'll shut Siri down.
I have no objections.
Phew. She has no objections too, so all those in favor indicate with aye. Contrary-minded? Motion's passed. Next recommendation, sir.
Okay, the next one again is a Crown land application for Mud Lake Road
Sorry, I'm still not sure about it.
You are now. Okay, I'm sorry.
by Kenneth and Yvonne Weber. The CBD committee recommends council object to the Crown land application 160668 for the Crown land application because of failure to meet the frontage, failure to meet minimum lot size, and failure to meet conditions for accessory building. Where an accessory building as defined in the Minister's development regulations includes a detached subordinate building not used as a dwelling located on the same lot as the main building to which it is an accessory and which has a use as customarily incidental or complementary to the main use of the building.
Okay, it's moved by CPD through Councillor Brumfield that council object to Crown Lands for the noted reasons for application number 160668. Seconded by Councillor Winters. Discussion. None being heard. All those in favor of the objection indicate with aye. Aye. Contrary-minded? Motion is passed. Last recommendation, sir.
The last one is Crown land application 157593, which is septic approval. Committee then agreed to move forward with the following recommendation. The CBD committee recommends council approve the land use for internal reference, then the completion of this request can be completed.
All right, so it's been moved by CPD through Councillor Brumfield that we move forward with the recommendation one for application or septic approval, application number 157593. Seconded by Deputy Mayor Wallace. Discussion?
I'm
Councillor
just
Palmer?
wondering if the Mayor, if the chair could just give a little update on what that's all about, a little brief on what the septic approval is.
Yeah, I know.
Is that the one for the gentleman that we got missed by Crown Lines?
Yes.
Okay.
It is.
So-
Yeah, that's what I was looking for.
Yep.
the
Did you want me?
legal letter.
Did you want me to do it?
What's
Do you
that?
want me to give the update?
Okay.
Okay.
yeah.
Yep. So I read through the package. There's a letter there from Crown Lands. So the normal process is folks will come to us with an application, or sorry, they would go to Crown Lands. Crown Lands will come to us as another referring agency. In this case, the approval was given without coming to council. So this is, I guess, a housekeeping matter for us, that if somebody was to come back, i.e. in a sale or something, and say that there was no approval to put your septic system there. So it's been noted by Crown Lands that it was missed, and the letter indicates that. And it's been approved and started the construction, I understand. So for us, this is just a housekeeping item, so that the municipal technologists can put it on the file for that particular property. Yep. All right. That it for you, sir?
Yes,
Okay, good. All right. What's that?
we didn't vote.
Oh, well. Okay, that's the first discussion. So much discussion here tonight, which is good. Okay, so it's been moved and seconded. Discussion's been held. All those in favor indicate with aye. Aye. Contrary-minded? All right. Okay, the next agenda item is we move into the CSR committee, and I will pass the committee for her report over to Deputy Mayor.
Thank you very much, Mayor. The Community Services and Recreation Committee held its first meeting of 2022 on January 11th. Present were myself, Chair, Deputy Mayor Wallace, Councillor Rumbold, Councillor Pomeroy, CAO Nadine McCauley, Director of CSR Travis Ford, EA Kathy Eddy, and CDR Manager Greg Osmond. Meeting was called to order at 4:39 p.m. and review of previous minutes and action items without any errors or omissions. New business discussed. Chair asked for an update of the outdoor rink with the CSR director currently working on this. Chair also requested further information to be communicated to the CSR committee as well as the entire council on all events planned by the 50th anniversary committee. This will ensure the council is up to date and available to answer questions on events as they arise. Outdoor activities at Kinsman Park are in full swing, and it looks fantastic. The walking trail is proving to be a hit, and just want to say thank you to the CSR staff for their hard work in maintaining this beautiful gym in the community. The E.J. Broomfield Arena has been extremely busy for 2023 so far, and we've had the Montreal Canadiens visited, playing two very entertaining games, and we thank all those who played and assisted in making this happen. We have a upcoming mega tournament this weekend at the arena, bringing visitors from Lab City and Churchill Falls to Happy Valley Goose Bay. The CSR manager presented his report and will be available with the report will be available with this meeting's minutes. There are no recommendations at this time. The next meeting will be held on February 15th at 5 p.m. Meeting was adjourned at 5:45 p.m.
Okay, it's been moved by Deputy Mayor Wallace that we accept the Community Services and Recreation report as presented. Seconded by Councillor Palmer. Any discussion?
Mayor, I got a question. The delegation that was here tonight from Snowflake Figure
Okay,
Skating Club.
so I'm going to declare conflict because you're going to go there where the first one. I'll pass the chair over and I'll just move.
Yeah, I was,
Go for one. Just want to note, there's been a change, obviously, that when you declare a conflict, you don't have to actually leave the chambers. You can stay up in the gallery there. So that's why Mayor has joined us just there. Councillor Compton-Hutz?
yeah, I just got a quick question. Has CSR committee ever discussed these issues? Because she said it was going on for a year with
Yes.
Snowflake Figure Skating Club. Has it ever come to the committee prior to now? No?
Yes.
It has?
Yes, as former CSR committee chair, we did have discussion with Snowflake Figure Skating Club. It was brought back to the staff to make sure that, because it has to do with a couple of hours of use of the facility where they are back to back. We thought this was going to be cleared up by staff. To me, it seems like All it is really is a scheduling issue. And if they could spread it apart, it would be very easily accommodated. But again, I can't refer back to that, as I wasn't a part of that committee for the last little while, and I don't know what staff has been doing over there to alleviate the situation.
Well, from what I heard tonight, what I've read, in my opinion, that, you know, it's a minute, it's small, minor, and it could easily be dealt with through the CSR committee or whoever, when you're meeting with them, and to staff to assign the dressing room, it appears, now unless I'm missing something, but for them to have to come as a delegation, and it's been discussed for the last year, is a bit of a ridiculous, I think, and it should be dealt with ASAP, in my opinion.
You're right, it's come to the committee, and it's come obviously to the CSR director as well, so it will be brought back to them.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. We'll bring the mayor back to the table to chair the remainder of the meeting. Over to you.
All right, so we have a mover and seconder. Any further discussion? What is the update on our outdoor rink?
On our what, sorry?
The outdoor rink.
We don't have one.
Are we working towards it?
We are,
Okay.
certainly.
All right, because it's beautiful weather for that now. Any other discussion? Okay, none heard. We'll, everybody in favor, all those in favor of accepting the report as presented, indicate with aye. Aye. Contrary-minded? Motion's passed. All right, we'll move into finance, admin, and policy, and I'll leave the floor with the deputy mayor.
Thank you very much, Mayor. I'm reading this on behalf of the Finance, Admin, and Policy Committee Chair, Councillor Rumbold, who's away and not with us today, making her way back. The FAP report for January 2023. The January meeting of the Finance, Admin, and Policy Committee was held on January 17th, 2023. The meeting was called to order at 4:33 p.m. Present were Chair Councillor Rumbold as Chair, Deputy Mayor Ella Wallace, Councillor Todd Winters, Mayor George Andrews as ex officio, CAO Nadine McCauley, and DFO Mike Delmont, SAT Kelsey Campagna, and EA Kathy Eddy. Regrets were extended by HR Kellyanne Jack and CDR Greg Osmond. A delegation has been registered, however, was not available to attend. They will reschedule for a later date. Previous minutes and action items were reviewed and discussed. Updates were made where necessary to the action items. New business was brought forward, which included discussing business taxes which are in arrears, delinquent tipping fee bills, donation requests, and property tax exemption requests, with recommendations to follow where applicable. Other business in the form of policy changes and incoming correspondence were also reviewed. Recommendations to follow where applicable. The SAT presented her monthly report, including the donations report, low income report, and age receivables. Residents continue to avail of the low income relief program, and payment arrangements are also being made where applicable. Our SAP continues to work with our residents, and we encourage all those who have tax arrears to reach out to her to discuss payment options and arrangements. The DFO presented his report, including his departmental report, the Central Labrador YMCA report, and the overtime report. Bless you. These reports were discussed and follow-ups requested where needed. This meeting was adjourned at 6:35 p.m., and the next meeting is scheduled for Tuesday, February 21st at 4:30 p.m.
All right, thank you, Deputy Mayor. It's been moved by Deputy Mayor Wallace that we accept the Finance, Admin, and Policy Committee as presented. Seconded by? Seconded by Councillor Winters. Discussion? All those in favor indicate with aye. Aye. Contrary-minded? Report's passed. All right, some recommendations.
Thank you, Mayor. We have a few recommendations here this evening. We'll start with the first, policy F0009, residential property tax. The FAP committee recommends council adopt amended policy F0009, replacing the word discount with reduction.
All right, it's been moved by the Deputy Mayor, excuse me, and the Finance and Policy Committee that we amend policy F009 to remove the word discount and replace it with reduction. Seconded by?
I'll second that.
Seconded by Councillor Hobbs, Councillor Compton Hobbs. Discussion?
Just want to point out that this is just a, one word we have to change in the actual policy. The policy remains as is.
Yes, apparently we're not supposed to use the word discount, so we're replacing it with reduction. All those in favor indicate with aye. Aye. Contrary-minded? Motion's
Mayor,
passed.
Before you continue,
Yep.
I'll have declared a conflict on this one.
Sure,
Okay,
no
as
problem.
I'm on the pancake breakfast.
Gotcha. Okay, thank you. Just had the record note that Councillor Compton Hobbs is declaring conflict, and she'll be sitting in the gallery. Deputy Mayor.
That's me. Donation request, Newfoundland Labrador Housing and Homeless Network. The FAP committee recommends council approve a cash contribution of $500 to the NL Housing and Homelessness Network to support their community pancake breakfast on February 1st, 2023.
All right, so it's been moved by the FAP committee through Deputy Mayor Wallace that council approve a cash donation of $500 to the NL Housing and Homeless Network for the pancake breakfast. Seconded by
I'll second that.
Councillor Pomeroy. Discussion. Councillor Brumfield.
Just clarification, did you say February 1st or 21st?
Oh, excuse me, February 21st,
Yeah,
2023. Thank you.
All right, any other discussion? All those in favor indicate with aye. Aye. Contrary-minded? Motion's passed. Just while we're waiting for Councillor Compton Hobbs to return to her seat, I forgot earlier in the meeting to indicate that regrets from Councillor Rumbold, as she's out of town attending work sessions. Next recommendation.
Alrighty, third one, property tax exemption, number 2, Amaroq Golf and Sports Club. The FAP committee recommends council grant property tax exemption for taxes and interest for 2021 in the amount of $6,672.02.
Okay, it's moved by FAP through Deputy Mayor that the property exemption from Amaroq Golf Club for 2021 for property tax exemption and interest. Seconded by Councillor Pomeroy. Any discussion? Councillor Pomeroy.
Yes, thank you, Mayor. I'm good. It's good to see this come to council for approval. I know that there's been a lot of work done at the golf club over the last number of years. 3 years ago, they were just barely staying afloat, and you know, work that's been done by a group of dedicated volunteers for I consider it a community asset, even if I don't golf. It's a community asset that's an important part of our community, and I think we should be supporting as much as we can.
Thank you, sir. Any further discussion? Do you have your hand up?
No.
Oh, sorry. Councillor Brumfield.
Okay, thank you, Your Worship. I notice here that this one, we're granting a property tax exemption for 2021. The very next item for 2022, we're denying it.
Can we just deal with this one?
Can we do this one first?
Okay?
Then in that discussion of the next one, your comment come forward.
Okay.
Yep. Any further discussion? Okay, all those in favor indicate with aye. Aye.
Aye.
Contrary-minded? Motion is passed. Next recommendation.
Thank you. The next one, property tax exemption number 2, Amaroq Golf and Sports Club. The FAP committee recommends council deny property tax exemption for taxes and interest for 2022 in the amount of $6,498.58.
So moved from the FAP committee, moved by Deputy Mayor Wallace, that we deny the tax exemption for taxes and interest for 2022 for the Amaroq Golf and Sports Club. Seconded by Councillor Brumfield. Discussion. Now you can ask your question.
Well, going back to my previous one,
Yep.
and also looking at this one here at C and D again. In C, you say property tax exemption number 2. D, you turn around and say the exact same thing, number 2. Should that first one be number 1? But it's too late now.
Well, they're separately in motions. I'm assuming that's a copy and paste. That's why I'm reading them out.
Yeah.
The years are different.
The years and the amounts are different.
Yeah.
No, I know that, but the exemption number is the same.
Yeah.
It is.
Okay, I'm going to refer to Ms. Eddy.
The reference reference their property tax exemption number 2. When this was discussed on finance agenda, that was just to indicate that they had applied previously, and this was application number 2.
Oh, okay.
And then the application was broken down into 2 years.
Thank you. Does that,
Here.
just one second, does that answer your question?
Yeah.
Did you want to ask your other question now?
No, I would do.
Okay. Councillor Compton Hobbs.
Yeah, I would just say that, similar to what Councillor Pomeroy had said, I mean, Emmerich Golf Club has worked hard. They almost shut down 3 years ago. I know because I worked closely with them in previous years. I'm not a golfer either, but they got over 200 golfers in this community, and they're still struggling to stay afloat financially. We should be all about promoting healthy, active living in this community, and I cannot support this recommendation. I want to see this Emmerich Golf Club flourish even more, and just Saturday they're having their opening, a grand opening for their outdoor trail. So they're doing their very best to bring Emmerich Golf Club back to where it used to be years ago. So I won't be supporting this recommendation.
Deputy Mayor Wallace.
Thank you. I as well, I mean, you'll know from this as well, my opinion on this recommendation that came forward through the committee. I fully believe we shouldn't be taxing or penalizing somebody or a group, a volunteer group, promoting active, healthy living in the community, whether it be a review of mill rates in the future or something we can do on that. So I'm definitely not in favor.
Okay. Councillor Winters.
Yeah, I sit on this committee, and I stress that exact same sentiments that everybody has in this room. These guys have done a tremendous job over the past 3 or 4 years to build up the words too, and I am not in support of any nonprofit organization that provides services such as active, healthy living. I said this exact same thing in the meeting when this came forth. And just to note, I voted against this back when it was approved, back in the last time we done this in 2022. So again, I'll just vote. I'll vote when the time comes.
Any further discussion? Councillor Brumfield.
The one thing I want to comment on is everyone goes back to almost when COVID came in 3 years ago. Well, everyone went through basically, I was going bankrupt 2 years ago when COVID first was implemented, and all the, basically, all the things they put in place for it. Now, just because now that I understand and I appreciate the fact that, yes, they are a volunteer organization, but, softball, hockey, and so forth, they're all voluntary too. Snowflake Figure Skating Club. When they go to the arena, we charge them a rental fee.
If you're going to discuss Snowflake, I'm going to declare conflict again.
No, but basically what it is.
All right. Okay.
The difference between...
Just one second. Deputy Mayor.
Yeah, the difference, yeah, you're right, it's a property tax. They own their own building, and we're penalizing them for doing so. And they offer so much to the entire community as a group, and we can't use a cookie-cutter approach doing our exemptions. We've already, it's not that we've approved one before, but we can't choose one over another. There's got to be individual assessment on each one.
Councillor Compton Hobbs.
Yeah, I was going to say that there's a big difference because they don't
So,
own property, Snowflake or Minor Hockey or whatever. So, yeah, like everyone said, I mean, this is a volunteer organization. They're struggling, to get afloat, and we need to support them.
okay, so I'm going to step in. If nobody has anything new to add to the discussion, do you, Councillor Winters?
Yes, from the committee meeting, it was noted to us that we have to charge some sort of a tax for these nonprofits, and I think that throughout that discussion during the committee meeting, Finance and Policy Administration Committee will be coming up with some sort of a change into how these property taxes are approached, whether it's a lowering of a mill rate to basically the minimal amount that we have to, but from my understanding, we are required to charge a property tax in this case.
Yeah, I think you're right. It's shall, not, that's why the exemption process is there. And you have to apply for exemptions every year, over year. Okay, so nothing new to the discussion. I will call for a vote. So all those in favor of denying the exemption indicate with aye.
Aye.
Contrary-minded indicate with nay. Nay.
Nay.
Motion is defeated. Yes. Next recommendation, please.
Thank you. The fifth one. Spending limit for the CAO. The FAP committee recommends council approve a maximum spending limit of $50,000 for the CAO.
Okay, it's moved by FAP through Deputy Mayor Wallace that we establish a spending limit for our CAO, and the amount be set at $50,000. Seconded by Councillor Winters. Discussion? Councillor Broomfield.
I really have a problem with this one, because most of the towns, I looked at them a while ago, none of them are up to like 50,000, or I'd say very, very few. My problem here is that we're giving this, increasing, this is a significant amount of spending limit. I have no problems them coming here, us having an emergency meeting and approve something that's over the spending limit we approve. Right now, we have no audit for the last basically almost 3 years. We were told after our first year audit that what other ones would come just fly right by, but that hasn't happened. Actually, our first one was amended. And right now, the only people who really have any signing authority is the mayor and our CAO. We don't see nothing other than what comes here. So really, I have a problem with, this is a high amount for someone to be spending freely.
Any other discussion?
Mayor, can I ask a
Councillor
question?
Compton Hobbs.
Can I ask a question? What is it set at now? I'm not on the finance committee, so I'm just,
To the best of my understanding, there is no spending limit. There wasn't one established, and by the act, we are required to establish.
$50,000 seems significant to me.
I know years ago, when I was on council previous, it was a $10,000 limit to the previous town manager, and that was 25 years ago. So.
It seems significant to me as well, and I'm of the same opinion as Councillor Broomfield, that if we need to come in for something with a higher price tag to approve it, then we could. And I guess, seeing this is all new to me, other municipalities, I wonder what they are set at. Do we know?
I'm not sure. I couldn't speak to that. Councillor Winters?
I just think, again, I sit on this committee, and I don't find this a significant amount of money for the work that she has to do. And from my understanding, she is required to report everything that she spends money on, so I don't see why we need to come in beforehand, approve her to spend this money when she easily can do this after the fact. And like I said, when it's after the fact, and if there's any injustice or misuse of funding, then we can address it then.
Any other discussion?
Just a quick question.
Councillor
So
Palmer.
what was the rationale for putting that amount in place?
I think for the fact
Is there a reason for it? Why 50,000?
It came up again, the number itself, 25 years ago it was 10, 2023 we're at 50. It was more just so it wasn't, we have to entrust the CAO and to do her role, and I think you'll find that that number is not astronomical at all for what she has to do.
Well, it depends on what she's
Okay.
buying. Oh, sorry.
So the approval for check process is here. The checks will come here. I sign all the checks in my absence, the deputy mayor, and according to the way it rolls out, if I'm here, the deputy mayor. If I'm not here, the deputy mayor's not here, then it's the chair of finance, and then any other councillor. We sign the checks. So and then we see what checks come through the committee. We'll approve checks here now shortly. The checks aren't signed ahead of time. I just think that we're running an operation here that's $14 or $15 million. I am, absolutely sure that there won't be any spending in terms of, outright without council or committee being involved in some regard. I have no issue with this.
Mayor, just to be clear,
Councillor Hobbs.
I'm not, just to clarify, I'm not disputing the spending of the CAO, but I would be more comfortable if I knew what other municipalities were set at, as just to jump in and say, yeah, I support this.
Okay, that's fair. Any other discussion? All right. So all those in favor, it's been moved and seconded. All those in favor with the recommendation from the committee to the maximum spending limit of $50,000 for the CAO. All those in favor indicate with aye. Aye. Contrary-minded?
Nay.
Nay.
Motion is passed. Next recommendation, please.
Thank you. Policy A0034, delegation of the issuance of orders. Committee recommends removing Larry Baker and Brian Johnson from policy numbers A0034 and add the engineering technologist, director of protective services, and CAO or designate to have authority to issue orders under the Municipalities Act 1999 of the Province of Newfoundland Labrador and orders under the Urban and Planning Act 2000 of the Province of Newfoundland Labrador.
All right, so it's been moved by FAP through the Deputy Mayor Wallace that we amend as indicated by removing the names Larry Baker and Brian Johnson from the indicated policy 0034 and add the names as opposed to the person names, just the names of the positions and again, this is administrative policy 0034. Seconded by? Second?
I'll second.
Okay. Seconded by Councillor Compton-Hobbs. Discussion? All right, again, and this is more just to bring things in line with the actual reflection of what's happened in our organization. All those in favor indicate with aye.
Aye.
Aye. Contrary-minded? Motion is passed. Next recommendation, please.
Thank you. Policy A0035, taxi regulations implementation. The FAP committee recommends removing Larry Baker as appointed inspectors for the purposes of the taxi regulations of the town of Happy Valley Goose Bay.
Okay, moved from FAP through Deputy Mayor that we remove the name Larry Baker from policy A0035. Seconded by? Seconded by Councillor Pomeroy. Any discussion?
I just have a question. Is there someone going to be filling in to do this, or someone else going to be assigned, or?
Well, there's other people on the process there now.
Okay.
It's for this one is the taxi. I think the CAO is there, and I think the director of that protective services is there.
So they can do inspections?
Yeah.
Well,
No.
we don't do inspections. There's just a physical. They've been trained.
Walk around.
One of the two had the training to do the. Yeah. Any further discussion? Okay. All those in favor indicate with aye. Aye.
Aye.
Contrary-minded. Recommendations passed. Next recommendation, please.
Thank you. Policy A0036, delegation for issuance of permits for fireworks and posting permit information. The FAP committee recommends removing Larry Baker from policy A0036.
All right, so moved through FAP, or from FAP through Deputy Mayor, that we again remove the name Larry Baker from policy A0036. Seconded by? Seconded by Councillor Winters. Any discussion? All those in favor indicate with aye.
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 Contrary-minded? Motion's passed. That's it from FAP, I think.
It is, thank you.
Okay, thanks. All right, so the Finance and Admin Policy 1 is done. We move to Municipal Services. And
Thank you,
Councillor
Mayor.
Winters.
Municipal Services Committee met on Wednesday, January 11th at 5 p.m. Present were Chair Councillor Winters, Councillor Haywood Brumfield, Councillor Denise Rumble, ex officio Major George Andrews, CAO Nadine McCauley, Engineer Randy Dillon, Superintendent of Public Works Randy Chambers, and Executive Assistant Kathy Eddy. Regrets were from Superintendent of Works, Water and Sewer Keith Pye. Meeting was called to order at 12:06 p.m. Review of previous minutes and action items. There were no errors or omissions. And then the manager's report, Public Works, the manager's report was attached and reviewed. Crews are performing seasonal duties. Fleet maintenance is ongoing and inspections completed. Winter schedule has commenced and new street signage has been placed. Water and Sewer, the manager's report was attached and reviewed. Engineer presented the report in the superintendent's absence. Wells 1 to 7 are operating with no issues. Maintenance and testing is ongoing. No major issues at the reservoirs. Water and sewer services are ongoing, and plans are moving forward for upgrades to lift stations. Moving to the engineer's report. The manager's report was attached. Deficiency corrections are ongoing for the Central Labrador YMCA. Waiting for updates of the list. With respect to the deficiencies at the Broomfield Arena, we are waiting for the contractor's final report. Kickoff meeting has held with the engineering consultant, and design has started for lift station upgrades as well as the D42 pump house upgrades. The preliminary report for the hydrogeological study and service drainage study has been submitted and sent to council for further review. And then we moved on to discussion and new business. The traffic study, there was information attached. However, the committee agreed to keep this on its radar pending ICIP funding. There are several issues around town that we need funding for that we can't do ourselves. Solid waste collection contract. Budget note was attached, and the committee agreed with the recommendation to award solid waste collection to Hickey's Construction. Date of next meeting is scheduled for Wednesday, February 15th at 12:05, and the meeting adjourned at 12:55.
Okay, thank you, Councillor Winters. It's been moved by Councillor Winters that we accept the municipal services report as presented, seconded by Deputy Mayor Wallace. Discussion. No discussion? All right, so all those in favor of accepting the report as presented indicate with aye. Aye. Contrary-minded? Motion is passed. You have a recommendation, sir, from your committee.
Yes. Solid waste collection contract. Municipal Services Committee recommends council award a contract to Hickey's Construction Limited in the amount of $2,399,544, HST included, for a term of 5 years, subject to compliance with preconditions of the contract award.
So it's been moved from Municipal Services through Councillor Winters that we award the contract to Hickey's Construction for the solid waste management process for our town for a term of 5 years in the amount of $2,399,544, HST included. Seconded by?
I'll second that.
By Councillor Compton Hobbs. Any discussion? Okay, no discussion. Everyone's looking at me. I just didn't know if there's discussion. All those in favor indicate with aye.
Aye.
Aye. Contrary-minded? Motion is passed. We have awarded that contract. All right, so we move into our last committee report, Protective Services, and Councillor Palmer.
Yes, thank you, Mayor. I guess before I present, if I may, I just want to say I'm pleased to be chairing this committee and working with the Deputy Mayor and my good friend, Councillor Compton Hobbs, and we've been down this road a few times and dealing with similar issues, so we're quite familiar with it and looking forward to having further discussions as we carry out our duties as members of this committee. The committee met on January the 12th. Meeting was called to order at 12:05 p.m. In addition to the Deputy Mayor and Councillor Compton Hobbs, the meeting was attended by the CAO, Nadine McCauley, Director of Protective Services, Fire Chief Brad Butler, and Executive Assistant Kathy Eddy took the minutes. We reviewed the previous committee minutes, and there were no errors or omissions. With respect to operations at the fire hall, Chief Butler noted that to date, this was 2 weeks ago, there have been 165 emergency calls for assistance for the year. All fire apparatus is fully serviceable. The fire protection officer is completing inspections as needed or scheduled and has moved on to completing inspections on town-owned facilities such as the fire hall, curling club, YMCA, town depot, and the waste water treatment facility. Also should note that student Ryan Turner, who had been here for a work term, I believe since October, has completed his on-the-job placement with the department. As well, the fire department training has now resumed and will continue till the end of June. With respect to enforcement, there was some discussion on when the community constable position would be advertised following the resignation of Larry Baker. The CEO advised that all of council would be discussing this issue to determine next steps. And as a result of the position being vacant, there was no activity to report from that particular department for the committee meeting. The monthly RCMP report was provided in our committee package for council review. I just want to highlight a few things in that report. The Happy Valley Goose Bay RCMP detachment responded to a total of 533 occurrences, which were classified as calls for self-service in December, compared to 478 occurrences last year, for a year previous, with a total of 162 persons being incarcerated for a variety of offenses during the month of December. The 2022-23 Happy Valley Goose Bay RCMP annual performance plan has been set with final updates on assigned priorities and goals, which help focus police on improving road safety through education and enforcement, reduce crimes against property and persons, and building and maintaining positive relationships with our community. With respect to enhance road safety, goals have been set for impaired traffic initiatives with increased traffic enforcement and regular check stops to help combat impaired driving in our community. RCMP members will seek opportunities to conduct strategic checkpoints and partner with traffic services to combat impaired drivers and highway traffic offenses. Members are also looking to conduct ATV patrols during the summer, snowmobile patrols during the winter. During the month of December, RCMP here conducted several stops, checking for traffic infractions and impaired drivers. For these check stop, members utilized mandatory alcohol screening testing. One roadside driver suspension was issued, and an impaired driver was arrested and charged. From December 21st to December 24th, members also handed out gifts to children and cards to motorists as after several check stops. Goals have been set for 4 proactive initiatives to help reduce crimes against persons and property. Detachment members will undertake to implement additional measures to monitor persons bound by court orders or to ensure compliance. Excuse me. Regular compliance checks are conducted on persons bound by court-imposed conditions to ensure compliance, and charges are pursued when persons are found in breach of those conditions. The RCMP detachment commander will ensure there is regular conduct and communications with mayor and council to ensure any issues are brought forward and plans made to address any identified issues. So that's a part of their plan for this year and some of the things that they hope to accomplish, and work closely with town, hopefully, and council. So that'll be monitored throughout the year. Animal control report is attached to council's package for those wishing to review. It was noted that the animal control officer plans to focus on problem areas, as there is generally less calls for assistance during the winter months. The animal control officer is also working on improving communications with the community about work that's ongoing within that department. During our meeting, Councillor Compton-Hobbs noted that she continues to see a number of loose dogs roaming around our community, and suggested that staff issue public reminders of the regulations, as well as info for those wishing to file a complaint. Deputy Mayor Wallace brought forward a concern regarding a barricade on Halifax Street adjacent to Gate 35, or the crash gate coming off the base. She said there is no emergency access to the gate if there was an incident on the runway, at the tank farm, or at the liquid oxygen plant. Committee asked that a briefing note be prepared for February's meeting, which is scheduled for February the 16th. There were no recommendations, Your Worship, so with that I move that the Protective Services Committee be report be accepted as read.
Thank you, Councillor Pomeroy. So it's been moved by Councillor Pomeroy that we accept the Protective Services Committee as presented. Seconded by Deputy Mayor Wallace. Discussion?
Mayor, just to add to that, the problem with the roaming dogs is people don't call the complaints line, and I think our animal control officer is doing an excellent job. She's excellent with the community and the public and dealing with animals with all her experience. So the problem is people are not calling in the complaints. I mean, there's no good to put it on social media. You need to call in if you got concerns. So I just wanted to clarify that.
Yeah, absolutely. And whether it's a roaming dog or other serious issues that are happening in town, report it to the police. Don't go to social media and say you reported it, because things aren't being reported, and the serious nature of things. The RCMP, if they don't know, then how can we deal with it? So, yes, good suggestion. Any other discussion? No further discussion. All those in favour indicate with aye. Aye. Contrary-minded? Motion is passed. And you did say there was no recommendations from your committee, so I will move right into the approval of checks. And, yeah, Deputy Mayor, I will ask that in the approval of checks, we approve all of them with the exception of number 25776, of which, again, I will remove myself from voting. And I think that was payment for the Christmas party, I do believe, as the organization that is being paid to, I'm involved with, so. All right, we could remove that one, number 25776.
You
This one.
have to remove it?
Well, no, not remove it, just, not, I won't vote on that to approve the checks. We'll do it separate.
Okay,
Yeah,
gotcha.
so
Oh,
I'll
I
just remove
understand.
myself. I'll declare conflict in that one. I don't want to approve that one. All right, so, floor is yours, Deputy Mayor.
Thank you. I'm quickly going to grab my
Some
calculator.
quick math. Well, we can do it, yeah. I apologize for that. Is it possible to know, can we get this ahead of time as well with our package?
Mm.
Yeah, it wasn't
Is
ready
it?
until.
I wasn't ready, okay.
Oh,
Because it gives everybody an opportunity because,
7.6, right?
yeah.
Someone else want to do it as well? Can we confirm that I have it right?
You read the numbers out and she'll fix them. All right.
Gotcha, thank you.
Okay, floor to Deputy Mayor.
Thank you very much. So approval of checks for December 14th, 2022 to January 24th, 2023. The total amount, $1,105,044.15.
So it's been moved by the Deputy Mayor that we accept the checks, approve the checks in the amount of $1,105,044.15. Seconded by?
I'll second.
Okay, I got Councillor Winter's fingers. So seconded by Councillor Winters. Any discussion?
Just
Councillor
one
Powell.
question, Your Worship.
Yep.
Just going through the list here, I noticed that there's a check there for my employer. So I'm not sure what that's for. Do the chair or the
No, first that's out.
deputy mayor would know what that exactly that's for?
For number
Check 0,
25,
0,
top of the second
25,
page.
757.
Yeah.
25757?
Yeah, top on the top second page. Would you know what it's for?
No, not off the top of
Okay.
my head, but our supervisor of assessment
Oh.
taxation's in the gallery. She may be able to clarify.
Okay.
Okay. We'll just wait for a second for her to come back. And the thing is now we have new conflict of interest guidelines and things that we're being told we have to adhere to. So until things like this get worked out, there's no direct benefit to anyone sitting around the table. But
I was gonna ask that question, Mayor. So this is new, if you're in a conflict with the list of checks?
yeah, well, I mean,
Can't pay yourself.
yeah, you can't pay yourself, or you can't pay an organization that you represent or you would be with, or
Any organization?
now from an employer perspective, I don't know. You know, I don't necessarily know about that one. I wouldn't say.
Would depend on the issue, I guess.
Yeah, I don't think it would be an issue.
So any organization you might be with that is receiving a check?
Is it going to take a long time for you? Okay. So may I suggest that if you think you are, that you may consider declaring, and if you don't think, then because it's going to take her a little while to go through all those checks.
Yeah,
Your
I don't
conflict
know.
would be if you have personal gain, so if.
Yeah.
Well, there would be no personal gain for me.
No,
Yeah,
exactly.
so we don't even
I
do
agree.
it.
Yeah, I agree with you. Are we all in favor with that?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So it's been moved and seconded. We approve the checks as she presented in that amount, and that's okay. Ms. Campagna, we're good. Oh, we're good.
Thank you.
So all those in favor indicate with aye. Aye. Contrary-minded? Those are passed. Pass the floor to Deputy Mayor.
For which? Oh, yes.
You got to approve one check.
Forgot. All right, moving forward, we have check number 0, 1, 2, 3, 0, 0, 0, 0. Check number 25776 in the amount of $3,774.88. All those in favor of approving indicate with aye.
Right.
You got a second?
Oh, excuse me, can I get a seconder on the amount?
I'll second that.
Thank you. Now all those.
Just
in
a,
favor.
just
Any
a point of
discussion?
order, just a point of order, Deputy. Was there a motion brought forward, or you just read the motion? And you're, as chair, should the motion be brought forward by somebody else?
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
Well, I can,
No, but what she's doing, she's approving, we're approving these checks here, right? So it
It's on
doesn't
the
matter,
list.
the motion is gonna be,
the conflict was whether Mayor Andrews
Yeah.
obviously is involved with the
So
company.
we already approved the checks in the amount minus the.
less that one there though,
So
less.
now wouldn't there have to be another vote on this particular amount with the
Yes.
absence of the mayor?
Yeah,
So
that's
that
not
would require
included in the
a vote.
amount that she will,
The amount we did before was minus this amount that the mayor is in conflict with.
So now we're going to approve the amount that he's in conflict with.
Yep.
That would require another motion? It would,
Yeah,
I would think.
alrighty. And I can do that because,
I think it would have to go to someone who's not the chair.
yeah.
alrighty. Who's, actually it'd be Councillor Winters, if you wouldn't mind bringing the motion forward of the approval of the amount. Do you know the line item there?
Yep.
Okay.
Can I, point of order too, that we already have a motion on the floor, so,
We've already approved it.
We already approved that.
no, this one she's just bringing forward now, so we're taking that off and passing
Well,
it.
she can't bring it forward,
Okay,
so
so,
it hasn't been.
I didn't bring the motion forward to do this one.
you read it, but we didn't have a
Mhm.
seconder, okay, so we'll
Mhm.
just move on to Councillor Winters.
Thank you.
I'd like to make the motion that we accept the check for, check number 25776 to the Masons for $3,774.88.
I'll second that motion.
Thank you. All those in favor with the amount, $3,774.88, indicate with aye.
Aye.
Amount approved. Thank you, Mayor. We can have you back.
Getting your steps in.
I have indeed. All right, so checks have been approved. Lots of stuff tonight, which is great. Okay, we'll go to Councillor's Forum. I picked randomly. I'm going to start with Councillor Brumfield tonight.
Okay, thank you, Your Worship. The first item I'd like to do is welcome Councillor Compton Hobbs and Councillor Palmer to our new chambers, and congratulations on your election results. My big item I have this week is dealing with the Combined Councils of Labrador. I was appointed to them last summer sometime. We're trying to get, we haven't had an AGM from my understanding in over 3 years. We've been trying to get one organized, and I've been up to Labrador Affairs office a couple of times this month. We had a couple of teleconference phone calls with the executive committee of the Combined Councils. We thought we had agreement to have one in February, but nothing came through with it. So I've been talking to Labrador Affairs again, and I was also talking to one of the other members on the executive committee. And what happened is Labrador Affairs, like I said, I was talking to them this week, today actually. They forwarded to all of the executive members a copy of the Combined Council's Constitution, a copy of the last 3 audited financial statements, and basically who's their employees. We still, like I said, so we got that today. I'm hoping to have a chance to read that over next week and hopefully plan another teleconference with Labrador Affairs and with the executive committee of the Combined Councils after everybody's had a chance to read it. There's issues there, like I said, they haven't had an AGM in 3 years. Under the Constitution, they're required to. They also get money from the provincial government, which they're required to submit audits to them as well. We also, all the communities in Labrador also pay membership fees for them as well, so they're getting money that way. So they had to be held accountable And this is why we're trying to get the AGM started. And this here, like I said, there hasn't been no AGM in 3 years, and we want to get it moving forward so that we can find out what's on the go with combined council and get them being more proactive than they have been in the last while. So that's where we are with combined councils. And that is my biggest issue. So hopefully the mayor will have a chat with some people and chat with Labrador Affairs here. Hopefully we can get this moving, going forward with an AGM and getting everything straightened up, not on track again, really. My only final item I want to thank or mention is when you have a mother who's 89 years old and this day of COVID, you're back and forth to the hospital many, many times. I've been back there now the last 3 weeks, well over 3 times. I must say the staff there are wonderful to her. They are overworked, no doubt, and I'd like to give a big thanks to the staff here at Labrador Grenfell Health, and thank you.
And yes, duly noted for sure, Councillor Brumfield. Just an update in terms of the combined councils. So I sit as Labrador's Director for Municipalities Newfoundland and Labrador. I'm in the process of reaching out to all of the MHAs with hope that they'll be able to reach out to their contacts and communities. This organization is something we should be really proud with. It's been a huge lobby in the years of former Mayor Hickey and former Mayor Leto, and it needs to be revitalized because we're all facing the same challenges. And when we sit collectively as a voice at Municipality Newfoundland and Labrador meetings, or the combined councils used to make comments or discussions with ministers and that, it's definitely missed for sure sitting around the table. So thanks for all your work. I know you've been at it now for months trying to make it go. So hopefully that'll come to fruition soon. All right, let's go to the other side of the table. Councillor Palmer.
Yes, thank you, Mayor. Not a lot to say. I've been on the job, I guess, for 2 weeks. So still trying to catch up on a few things. A few things have changed since a year ago. And I noticed that there's been a lot of discussion about codes of conduct and new rules coming in from municipal affairs, which I fully welcome and wholly welcome, because it's something that's been lacking for many, many years. So it's great to see there's some progress being made on that. I just want to thank the public, thank the community for putting trust in me to serve our community for the next 3 years or so. And I look forward to working with all of council and for the betterment of our community. Other than that, not much to say. There's a lot of issues out there. I mean, we all hear them every day. Some issues have been going on for years and years and years, and will continue to go on for years to come. And all we can do as elected officials is work as hard as we can to deal with those issues, and hopefully at the end of the day our community is better for it. So I'll leave it at that, and thank you.
I don't want to put you on the spot, but I know you sit on the 50th committee.
Yep.
Do you want to give a little brief update or anything as to where it's moving?
Quick update. Well, of course, the first event that we put off was the alumni hockey games. It was something that was kind of, for any committee member that's here in the room would know that it was a lot of work that was done behind the scenes very quickly. It was literally 3 days before Christmas, before any real planning was done on this. It was the 20th, actually, the day after the election, when work started, really getting pushed on this. And we rolled it out the door, and the response that I've received throughout the community has been very positive. We've had people come in from Labrador City. We had people come down from the coast, from the north coast. People drove in from Cartwright just to come in and have a weekend of entertainment, which was great. And when you bring people into our community, we all prosper. I think the whole community prospers. Stores had more people buying goods. Hotels were full. Restaurants were full. So that's a great boost to our economy, even though it was a small event. The committee meets probably once a month, and there's subcommittees that are within that committee to deal with certain aspects of different events that we could be planning throughout the year. So we're working on a number of things, nothing to provide any detail on yet, because nothing's been really confirmed, but stay tuned, and hopefully this committee will, bring some more events to the town that people can get out of their homes and enjoy. And so we'll see what this year brings. Hopefully it'll be a very positive year.
Good, and I apologize for putting you on the spot.
Oh, no problem.
Councillor Compton Hobbs.
Yeah, not too much. I'd like to thank the community as well for getting out and supporting me and putting their faith back in me. I plan on continuing doing what I've done the previous 8 years, and that's giving my 100% and being there for the community. And if anybody got issues, they know how to reach me, or concerns or ideas or what have you. It feels like, really, to be honest, that I never left. I need to be brought up to speed on some of the things that are happening that I'm slowly getting back into. But yeah, I'll definitely be there for the community. And I just want to say condolences to a good friend, Winnie Lyle Forward, to her family, because she was a fierce woman, and anybody that knew her, she didn't mind. She sat in that gallery more than once and came to that mic to speak her concerns. And she'll certainly be missed, so I just wanted to mention that and send my condolences to her family. And seeing Winnie around the community is going to be different. Not seeing her around the community is going to be different for sure. So condolences to the family, and I'll just leave it at that.
Thank you, Councillor Compton Hobbs. Councillor Winters.
Just two things. Councillor Pomeroy and Councillor Compton Hobbs, welcome back to council chambers, and welcome to the 13th council. We know from the past that you are both very passionate about what you do, and that we look forward to working with everybody to move our concerns ahead. The second thing is finally, I see the guys from the Amaranth Golf Club can't express how much you guys done for the community, what you do, the turnaround in that club that happened over the past 3 or 4 years, went through COVID, and everything you've done to this point, I think really reflects on how the council voted tonight, on how we feel, how important you guys are to the community. So, like I said, first time I had a chance to publicly thank you, so thanks, guys.
Good?
Yeah.
All right, Deputy Mayor Wallace.
I hate going last, I have lines.
You're not last. I'm last. Or I can wait.
Well said, Councillor Winters, on that last one for sure. Just a couple notes. We have a few things happening in town this weekend. We have an upcoming mega tournament where, communities, Churchill Falls, Lab City, come to the arena. And we'll give a warm welcome, a Goose Bay, Happy Valley Goose Bay welcome to all the visitors coming to town. Without volunteers, this would not happen. And to all those who give their time, we thank you for sure. 2023 is the year of Labrador Winter Games, so keep your eye out for all the events, ticket releases, and further details on their website. Congratulations to all players from Lake Melville Extreme Minor Hockey who traveled to Lab City this past weekend to play in the Labrador Cup. For sure, I was there seeing them, but we're very, very proud of the conduct on the ice and off the ice and how they represented Lake Melville. Jiggy, jiggy. We have congratulations to our basketball players recently selected who will be representing Team NL this July at the North American Indigenous Games in Halifax. Local residents here are Jaden Pater, Sydney Gowdy, Jackson Winters, and Adam Barney. Congratulations, guys. Well done. And, of course, welcome to both of you, Councillor Compton Hobbs and Councillor Pomeroy. We look forward to working alongside with you for the next 3. All good.
Okay. She's got a lot of scratches here, so.
Yeah, I do.
First of all, thank you to everybody who sits around the table, all our staff, and that, this is tremendously challenging at times, but collectively together we're hoping to move things forward. And I mean, seeing that we have the guys in the gallery from the Amaranth Golf Club, Saturday is your opening for the new snowshoe walking, and what time?
10.
At 10. So yes, by all means, for anyone who says there's nothing to do in town, just get out and around, because there's all kinds of things to do. Just want to make a comment from a visitor that passed through. Brian Scrugman was one of the Montreal alumni. The hospitality now, I'm hoping they don't say this everywhere they go, but the hospitality that him and the guys that were with him received was absolutely by far the best they got from anywhere they went. And he was a stand-up guy, and they did a bit of moving around the community, so that's good. We'll enter into the conflict of interest training and stuff like that is mandatory now, Councillor Palmer. So that's being scheduled. That's on our agendas. So there is some formalising that's happened, I guess, since the previous, probably last 6 months. This new training is coming from the province. So we've been trained, and hopefully we'll use all that training in the road forward. We had a couple of speakers here tonight. One of them was indicated that they had a hearing impairment. I went back and I sat on a couple of occasions this evening with another lady who was sat back there who had a hearing impairment. She couldn't hear anything but a buzz. And it is difficult to hear back there, and I can understand. Can we, Mr. Dillon, somehow look at some ways of improving, and Mr. Osmond and Ms. Eddy, collectively from a management staff perspective, look at that, and the lighting in here. We got to do something with the lighting in the chamber.
We'll do, Mayor, for sure. There is an echo around the whole chamber, and I think we need some sound dampening throughout the chamber, and as well the lighting.
Yeah. And like I say, tonight it was, the first time we've had a couple of folks that have actually, somebody that's brought it up to issue that, they have a hearing impairment, and it is difficult back there. And so from that perspective, maybe we could look at that. The last item, there's a lot going to happen this spring. We're going to have the Winter Games. We got Canes Quest. We got the mega tournaments and all kinds of other things that'll happen. So get out and enjoy it. And I'm hoping that the 50th committee will have some good stuff on their Facebook page and stuff that comes ahead. So anyway, anything to bring to council before I close, Mr. Dillon?
No, thanks. Not for me.
Okay, Miss Eddy, Mr. Osmond, Kelsey, anything from you? No. All right. I'll put them all on the spot tonight. All right, with that, I will entertain a motion to adjourn the meeting.
Motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn has been made by Councillor Compton Hobbs, seconded by Councillor Brumfield. All those in favour indicate with aye. Aye. Contrary-minded? Meeting's adjourned.